Welcome to this tour of QModeler low-code development platform. QModeler is a low-code application platform of many firsts. The first to use persona-based visual languages. The first to make advanced NASA-grade testing methodologies available in the enterprise. The first platform that seamlessly integrates with blockchain technology, and the first that allows you to map large business processes into blockchain smart contracts. There is much more, but let's begin now by taking a walk through how the product actually works. A note before we start. Normally, we would only see the screens belonging to the role we are logged in as. In order to make the walkthrough easier, I'm going to log in as administrator, so we can view all the screens visible to all the roles. After entering our username and password, we are taken immediately to the dashboard. The dashboard is a convenient place to view all the projects you have permission to view. You can clone, edit, and delete projects from this page, as well as start a new project. For this walkthrough, I'm going to clone an existing project. We can see here that a project consists of three types of components: contracts, elements, and logics, which are visible to business users, power users, and engineers respectively. Contracts, elements, and logics each have their own visual language that has just the right balance of abstraction and flexibility for the role of the person using it. Let's open the contract component to see the business user's view. On the left of the screen, we can see the palette of components made available to the user. These components were created earlier by power users and engineers working on-site or off-site, or part of a pre-built package. To the right of the palette, we can see the workboard. No-code applications are built by dragging components from the palette onto the workboard and connecting them using arcs. Messages are sent across arcs to other components. In this example, there are 5 components that are working together to manage the purchase of an item with advanced escrow rules. For those interested, details of this example can be found on our website. When we click on one of the connections, we see the data transformation rules. These rules map between various data formats and the variable accessible from the component. To see how the data in the messages are defined, let's enter the engineer's perspective and open one of the logics. In this view, we can see how the engineer defines the logic of the component using a visual language that is very distinct from the language we saw the business user using. This language is very powerful and can do anything a programmer can accomplish writing code, but requires more technical aptitude than the language used by the business user, the person using it. At the bottom left, click the second icon from the right to bring up the data definition screen. This screen lets us define the data formats used by the application. Let's close the screen and go back to the contract, putting our business hat back on. Having seen how the application works, let's deploy it. Clicking the Deploy button, we can choose from a list of options from where we want our application to run. When appropriate, we can select to have the application run on a blockchain platform like Ethereum or Hyperledger Fabric. We can also select to have it run on microservices, J2EE applications, IoT devices, or just run as a Java application. To view the applications we have previously deployed, we navigate to the deployment screen. QModeler creates and versions an API for the application. Using APIs is how external applications and user interfaces can interact with the program. Our web app interacts with the deployed application using these API. In the case of deployment to a blockchain, this interface is called a DApp. The interface can act as the public-facing interface to your application, or you can build your own using the API. The web page has 3 tabs on the left dashboard: Users and API. The dashboard provides application analytics and health information about your application. DApp's users can view your contract address and account balance on this screen. The Users tab allows you to create users and grant them permissions to invoke the program's API. Finally, the API provides an interface for interacting with your contract. This interface can be used as the customer-facing UI for your application. Thanks for listening.